Alright guys, I am making first on Mario Sunshine here, and I am getting this 1-up, gosh dang it. Not that I exactly need it, but hey, we finally got that 1-up now that Mario is almost completely run out of oxygen and died. So, on that note, hey guys, what's up, Pinna here, and welcome back to Let's Play. So, wow, that actually counted as a triple jump by the second jump bouncing off of a toad. Welcome back to Super Mario Sunshine. In the last episode, we went through the first half of Pinna Park. Peach still does not understand how babies are made. And we got the Yoshi egg, which is available to us now. Yoshi will be in all the missions, as well as the turbo nozzle and the rocket nozzle available for Delfino Plaza. So in this episode, we're going to tackle the second half of Pinna Park, starting with Episode 5, the Runaway Ferris Wheel. This was the mission I was thinking of last episode, where I said, you can do it the way the game wants you to, or you can do it a much easier way that's not even a glitch. It's just something that the designers apparently didn't think to do. So, we're going to start by entering the park here. And it's, unlike it just showed in the intro, the Ferris wheel is obviously moving much, much faster. And our culprit is this guy. Apparently he is interfering with the electrical intricacies of the Ferris wheel, even though he's not actually touching any of the electrical parts of the Ferris wheel. But, hey, we'll roll with it. So, what the game intends you to do, and I am going to show what the game intends you to do, I'm not going to do it because I think it's a waste of time and really stupid, is I'm heading up to where the Ferris wheel is now. If you go around the back side of this right here, you'll notice that there's a Noki back here that says, "The electric Koopas are up to no good. Could you flush them back from back out of here? Or from out back here?" There is a giant segment that they want you to climb up that involves using these platforms. If you spray them with Flood, I'll show you an example. Spray them with Flood, they'll flip over, but then they'll switch back after a certain amount of time, and dealing with a bunch of electric Koopas. The only electric Koopa you need to deal with, in order to get the shine, is the one on the very top, the green one that you saw. And that platforming segment, I have done it before, and it is very obnoxious if you screw it up, and it takes a long time to recover from, should you do so, especially if you're very high up. So, what I would recommend is doing it a different way. Head up to where the pirate ships are, and I might actually have to wait for a rotation. Actually, yeah. You can head up to where the pirate ships are and jump across like we were doing the red coin mission, or you can just go over here. If you couldn't make the jump before with the hover nozzle, then the bridge is actually here now, so you don't even have to worry about that. You can just walk right across. If I could do a side jump, come on, we can do it. I've done plenty before, there you go. You can just jump up to here, and this is about where coins 7 and 8 were in the red coin mission. So if you climb up here, you'll notice that you're actually pretty close to level with where that electric Koopa is. So what you want to do is go over to the right side here. If you stand on the left, you're going to bump your head on this, on the edge of the coaster, so make sure it's on the right side over here. And do a side jump and just hover straight across, like this. Sometimes you will hit that, I wonder if you can actually land on one of these now. Sometimes you will hit one of the, I don't even know what you call them, rails. The periwinkle colored bars that are hovering around. Sometimes you will hit one of them, and if you do, you can just do it again. But most of the time, you'll be able to just go right through it. So, it is a much faster way to take care of the shine than doing it the way the game intends. I think I was about to glitch through there again. There we go. There you go. And just hold down the nozzle until you're positive that you made it across, and there you go. You're at the top. So what I got to do here is there is a rope right below, so if you fall down this hole, no big deal. So just get on top, hit A, and there you go, problem taken care of. So, with me showing that back area that you're supposed to go to and screwing up once, that took about, what, 2.5, 3 minutes? That is a lot faster than going through that platform. Even if you're fast, that's still kind of ridiculous. So, once you've taken care of that, the roller coaster, I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, never mind. I actually thought I was going to fall off there. The Ferris wheel will go back to normal speed, and you just ride one of the carts up to get your shine. This is also the highest point in the level, too, so if you want to see different areas, then this is where you go. You can see different stages in the background like you can with other levels, so nice little feature. I like the fact that you can see other worlds from the world you're in if you're up high enough. It's really cool. It's one of the things I feel might be a little bit underappreciated about this game. I think it's really amazing, though. Alright, so with that mission taken care of, yet another hard mission made easy. Poor Mario, he just keeps getting shot out of a cannon. I really cannot talk this episode. What is going on? Couldn't do it in the last episode and can't do it now. Episode 6, the Yoshi-Go-Round's Secret. This is one of my favorite shines in the game, because I get to kill a Yoshi, flat out. Not only do I get to kill him, I get to impale him, which makes it even better. So as you can see, this is, if you, for whatever reason, didn't get to Mission 8 in RICCO Harbor, this is the first time that you would see Yoshi appear in a level, you know, where it's got a title mentioning that you're going to need a Yoshi. So what you're going to want to do is, you'll notice that over by the, I don't even know what you call those, I guess the little horse ride thing, heck if I know, I haven't been to a carnival in ages. Ow. You'll notice that there's Yoshi up here, and he will ask for a random fruit. In this case, it is a pineapple. I'll just go ahead and show you where a few of the fruits are. If they ask for the pear, then consider yourself in luck. It's right there, hanging like a booger does off of somebody. Nice. Bananas are down there. Pineapple is up here, so I'll go ahead and grab this. There's a tree like this one that's just over there. It's blocked by my view a little bit. If I can move over a little bit. There's a tree like that one that's over there that has the coconut by it, so that's pretty much all the fruits that you're going to need. He's likely going to say one of those. If it says something else, I don't think I've ever seen a durian or a jalapeno show up, so you don't have to worry about that. And you do want to make sure that Yoshi is orange, because like I mentioned earlier in the previous episode, not all the fruits will turn him orange. It does have to be an orange Yoshi. If that is the case, then just go ahead and eat the pear that is on that tree that's shaped like a pianta, because that will turn him orange. So, if for whatever reason you get the wrong color, then there you go. Then you get to put Yoshi on this carousel and impale him, thus finishing it. And once again, we have a lovely floodless level. This one's not that hard, though. So, let's go ahead and get started here. I would personally recommend just triple jumping over that. As long as you're jumping, the tilting really won't get you that bad. In that case, some stages I don't recommend that. This one I would recommend it for. You're going to want to hop all the way to the center onto the light blue / periwinkle blocks, because this is the only one that both coming and going does not have something blocking one of the walls where you'll actually, you know, just get pushed right off. And then, of course, just make your way back across. The jumps look harder to make than they actually are, which is kind of weird, but they look a lot harder than they actually are. Just make sure you jump when you're close to the edge, but not so close that you fall off. Once you've gotten here, you're pretty much golden. The only jump you might mess up is this one, because it's kind of a pain. This block rotates in kind of an L-shaped pattern, and you have to jump ahead of time, otherwise it will start moving again and you won't make the transition, so fair warning about that. That will get you your first time if you don't know about it. I know for a fact I died on that jump at least twice. And speaking of dying on jumps, for whatever reason my jump did not line up there, and so I died anyway. Hooray! A murder! So I can actually do the triple jump correctly here. Nope, not even then. Normally you can, if you time it correctly and don't screw up, you can nail 3 triple jumps perfectly whenever you're going across it. And it looks really cool, but of course, when I try to do it on recording, because of the LP curse, it doesn't work. And then I kill myself again. Alright, let's try that one more time without interruption. You might be wondering, well, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. What could possibly be interrupting you? There was some jackass outside that was playing music with the bass really, really high up. And don't get me wrong, I love music, and I don't mind having a bass that high up, but dude, it's 4 o'clock in the morning in a neighborhood. People are trying to sleep. What the hell, man? Have a little common courtesy. Ridiculous. At least with my recording, it's not bothering anybody in the house, because everybody else besides me in this house is tone deaf. Or not tone deaf, but just deaf in general, so they can't hear anything unless you yell it. And they're on the other end of the house, so I would pretty much have to set off a nuclear bomb in order to wake them up. But yeah, that's just a little bit obnoxious. And not just because I'm trying to record, like, I actually feel bad for anybody that was trying to sleep, and then this guy's out here just, you know, having a little party, not giving a crap, and sure enough. Oh, that reminds me, I have a story that I need to tell, which I was not present for, but I heard about it, and it does involve me. For those of you that don't know, my parents also, in addition to this house, have a cabin that's at Ruidoso, New Mexico. I should probably clarify that. Ruidoso, New Mexico. And a lot of people that have cabins there rent them out, and us included, because, you know, getting enough money for expenses for one house is a lot for most people, but for two, unless you're the 1%, that's, you know, a bit of a tall order. Regardless of that, we had somebody over Labor Day weekend rent out our house, and they got the cops called on them 5 times in one weekend, most of the time at late hours of the night / early hours of the morning. And, long story short, they essentially got blacklisted from the website that we use in order to, you know, rent out the place. They've been blacklisted from there, which means that they will not be able to use that site at any point ever. And it also means that likely people will be talking and they'll get blacklisted from other areas too. So, due to their inability to drink responsibly, and also underage drinking, I should probably add that on top of it, and a couple arrests that were made, and us feeling incredibly sorry for our neighbors, even though it had nothing to do with us and it wasn't our fault at all. And yes, I am going to keep talking through the story while I go and get Yoshi again. They basically got blacklisted and did a fair amount of property damage. They actually knocked a hole in our wall. Why or how, I'm not sure if I want to know the answer to that. They broke a bunch of our furniture, and don't worry, we had insurance cover for it. That's what it's for. But yeah, it was something that happened during Labor Day weekend. It was kind of a mess. Pineapple again? Okay. My mom was a little bit annoyed that she lost a lot of, not so much the furniture, but her decorations. But as I've stated every time that somebody wants to bring something up there, I'm like, well, you can bring it up there and you're more than welcome to leave it, but just keep in mind, we have like one room in the house, well, it's a closet, that we keep all of our stuff in, because, you know, why bring suitcases each time you're traveling to another house when you can just have extra clothes up there and not have to worry about the suitcase at all? And, you know, you can bring up whatever you want, but unless it's in that closet, then don't be surprised if it gets broken or stolen, etc. And I know because I have an Xbox 360 up there with a couple games, which is why I always keep a moron-proof copy at my house of the same game. Yes, it means I have to carry duplicates of the same game, but if it's a game that I actually want to play, and it's broken, or misplaced, or stolen, or whatever, then, you know, no big deal. Alright, 8 red coins for this mission are pretty easy. Most of them, unlike the last red coin mission that we had, are at the end rather than at the start. You'll have one right here, which, if you're just taking the normal path, you're going to go through that area anyway. And then there's another one that is inside of the, I guess, that's not even black, that's more like a dark green. But yeah, there's another one right there. They're both on the left side, there are none on that right side. I don't know why, they didn't put any there, but they didn't. I'm just gonna go straight for the red one. So yeah, only 2 red coins in that spot, the rest of them are actually over here. Rather bizarre, but they did it, so they did a thing and it had stuff. I'm just going to skip that jump entirely, make the camera have a seizure, and jump over here. Right, let's see here. There's 3, I missed 4. The hover nozzle did not work. There we go. Now you will actually have to jump down to this little platform down here, because, no, let go of it. There is actually a red coin right here. You couldn't really see it, but yeah, there is a red coin right there, so just make note of that. If you get 7 or 8 and you're like, or 7 or 8, if you get 6 or 7 out of 8 and you're wondering where the heck the last coin is, that's probably the one you're missing. There is another one down there, I'll pick it up in a second. Okay, there's 6, there's 7. I might have actually screwed up because I went in a really bad order and I shouldn't have done that. Oh no, the last one's right here. Okay, never mind. False alarm. For some reason I was thinking I'd have to go all the way back around, but yeah, you can just wall jump and then get the coin from there. My mistake. There you go. Shine. So yeah, as long as you get those first two, you're fine. Most of the time, people do fail that because they run out of time, because the first time you're going through that area with all the moving blocks, and you're like, okay, where are all the coins? I've only found 2. They can't all be over there. Yeah, almost all of them are, actually. 75% of those red coins are in that last small area. Kind of weird, but that's what they did. Wee-hee-hee indeed. Episode 7, Shadow Mario in the Park. That's going to be the last of the easy missions, because my gosh, do I hate this last one. Oh, man. I'm going to have 2 really obnoxious missions back-to-back, and I'm just going to be so spent afterwards. I know for a fact. Of course, since he's in the park, that means we go here. Hi. You might have to play a little bit of catch-up with him at the start right there, because as you can see, he gets a bit of a head start on you. But aside from that, this is not terribly bad. Make sure you give him as much as you can in the starting area, though, because you're going to start bouncing around on a lot of platforms. Mario will forget how to jump, etc. So what he'll do is he'll come up here. This is another spot where you want to try to get him as much as possible. Okay, I would have figured he was out by now. He'll run back behind this area right here, which I wouldn't recommend. I would just go around the front side because it's such a thin walkway. It's pretty easy to fall off of. He'll go past this little ride that has the clams on it. The camera will have a massive seizure, and there we go, he's out. So that's pretty much his pathway. Really, it's the spot where he's like going uphill and whatnot that's kind of obnoxious. We haven't done the creepy-ass nozzle thing in a while. Let's go and do it. Yeah, look at that gyrating nozzle. Beautiful. And then it creepily slides down Mario's hat. Ugh. It's not normal. I need an adult. Yes, we know. Believe me, there's nothing more than I would like to do than to skip these 2 missions and go straight there in the next episode. But they gotta get done sometime, and you know what? They're still not the worst missions in the game, in my opinion. I know full well which one's the worst, and I've mentioned it multiple times in other LPs, I believe. But let's go ahead and get this one done. Episode 8, Roller Coaster Balloons. Some people love this mission, and some people hate it. I don't think the mission itself is hard. I think the mechanics make it very, very difficult. If you had a hard time fighting Mecha Bowser because of like all the angles and whatnot, and you know how you're going upside down, you are gonna hate this mission. Big time hate it. As you can tell, there are Bowser Jr. balloons all over the park. I think if you talk to this guy... Hi! Tootie. No, he's not going to say anything. But yeah. Okay, they're just going to hang around. So, what you want to do here is head up to where the roller coaster is. Yes, I know there's a blue coin over there. I don't care. Not doing the blue coins yet. So head up to where the roller coaster is. To clarify it, if you haven't been up there that much, or didn't watch last episode, and seeing me use the shortcut, go to where the pineapple is that you need to feed Yoshi, and then just go across the bridge, and there you go, you're right there. And if I could get... That is not going to happen, sir. I'm not going to fall off there. Talk to this guy right here. Or girl. Can't really tell. Talk to this Noki. Welcome to the grand reopening of the roller coaster. We've got a balloon-popping water rocket game going on. Want to try? Not really. You can hit all the balloons with the water rockets before the roller coaster makes 3 loops. You win. And then we'll give you a prize. Good luck. So... You get 3 laps to knock out all these balloons. There are 20 of them, which doesn't sound too bad. You're like, okay, I'll just get 7 per attempt. But the angling on both the camera in some spots, because, you know, it's a roller coaster, I kind of get why the camera's bad, but oh my god, is it bad. And also, the rockets fire weird. Like, it was easy with Mecha Bowser, and I also made it look easy, but Mecha Bowser is a larger target than the balloons are. And a lot of them, there's just not a good opportunity to get a hit on them. I would recommend taking out a group, because if you take out like a group, And I'm not saying get multiple shots, I'm saying, like, if it takes 2 rockets to knock out both of these, then just use 2 rockets, because, God so help me, you do not want to have to deal with a bunch of individual ones, as opposed to one group where you can just line them up and try to knock them out all in one go. But as you can see, it looked like both of those shots were pretty good, right, on that group of 3 at the end. Missed both of them. One of them went way too high, the other one went way too low, so it's up to you, really, to figure out what angle you have to aim at. But they're really off, like, really bad. Okay, I knew I got at least one with that. I'm surprised I hit all 3 right there. I thought for sure I only got 1. That was a pretty good shot. Like, I'm doing relatively well, and Flood will actually give you different dialogue depending on how good or bad you're doing by the end of the second lap. Like, you know, it'll be like, oh yeah, only X amount of balloons, you got this, you know, there's only 2, 3, whatever left. If there's like 9 or 10, Flood's like, I'm not so sure if you can do this, Mario. I don't think you're going to be able to. I don't know if that's actually telling you outright you're not going to be able to complete this. You know, like, you're not going to be able to do it within 1 lap. You've already lost your chance, basically. But maybe it is, maybe it's not. I really don't know. Oh, yeah, that hit a wall. That also hit a wall. Yeah, only a few remain. Thankfully, only 1. I don't know how, but it's still perfectly possible that I would miss it anyway. But see, like, there's spots like right here where I can't hit that target. Like, I can only move... You can hear me moving the stick, right? I can only aim in certain directions so many times. Like I said, sometimes there's just not a good shot at it. And that's what I mean by I don't like this mission. And I also understand fully why a lot of people don't like this mission. It's just, there's not a good... You don't have enough time to line up a shot. It's like... It's almost like the... Very reminiscent, and I can't believe I'm bringing this up, but it's one of the few things I didn't like whenever I played Majora's Mask. It's almost like the shooting gallery. The Clock Town, in particular, shooting gallery in Majora's Mask. It's a lot like that. Like that shot looked like it should have hit. I would have bet money on that shot hitting, but it didn't, and then that one fired high, and so I ended up losing. Like, there was nothing wrong with those first 2 ones. I had 19 out of 20 going into the last lap, and I couldn't hit that last one. Like, it's not from lack of skill either. It's just there's times where you really don't have much window of opportunity to make a good shot. And if there's more than 5 balloons remaining, you're probably not going to get them all. And it's not from lack of skill. It's just that you're so busy trying to line up one shot that you miss opportunities on another, and there may not be another opportunity because you're on the 3rd lap. Worst of all, if you actually lose this, it completely kicks you out of the stage, and you have to redo the entire thing again. So, yes, once again, in similar Mario games, losing a carnival game has caused you to get murdered. And that's pretty high stakes. I don't think that was mentioned in the rulebook. I think I'm liable to sue for this. But yeah, kind of a problem. I'll show the next attempt that's successful, which it may be this one, it may not be. Hopefully it will be, but I will cut to the successful attempt and I will show all 3 laps. If it's not this one, then, you know, I'll just cut it. It's really obnoxious, though. I don't even know what advice I could honestly give you on this one. Which is a real shame, because I would like to, but there's not really good advice. Okay, I'm amazed that shot actually made contact. The last balloon that I had to pop, as you just saw, was the exact same one. That was the exact same balloon. I had, I think, 13 or 15 out of 20 of the balloons popped after the first lap. And by the time that I cleared the second lap, I had 19 of 20 again. So, yeah. It's a miracle that that actually hit. I thought I was going to do the exact same thing twice, but the fact that that only took 2 tries is a little bit impressive by my standard. I didn't cut anything out there. I was quiet in case I had to cut something out, but I didn't make any cuts. It was only those 2 attempts, so that's not too bad for water balloons. I think the first time I did it on the first try, and then the second playthrough I tried to recreate it, and it took me like a ridiculous amount, like well over 10. But yeah, that only took 2 attempts, so that's kind of surprising, actually. Alright. Lastly, this episode, well, I guess it is technically an episode, because the Shine names are episodes. This episode will take a while. As I mentioned, now that we've gotten Yoshi, we can go back to Stage 2, RICCO Harbor, in order to do the final mission here, which is Yoshi's Fruit Adventure. And oh, it's an adventure, alright. Boy, is it an adventure. Alright, so the end goal is here. That's where the shine is. As you can see there, you've got that orange goop that's on top of it, which means you have to have Yoshi spray juice on that in order to make it go away. If you don't have Yoshi, you can't get in there, can't get the star. So you are going to have to use Yoshi. Now, if we get a closer look once we get over there... I don't think so. I'll grab some water. If you take a closer look when we actually get over there, and I'll just get on top of this fruit thing to give you a better bird's eye view of it. Or I could just, you know, not get my extra jump for whatever reason. Okay, let's try that again. There you go. Very nice. As you can see beyond where that plane is, there's a bunch of platforms leading up there. So, like, well, how are you supposed to get there? You can't make that jump from the helipad area right there. Well, it turns out that if you look over there, you can see a couple fish bouncing up and down the water. And whenever Yoshi sprays them, they turn into platforms. That's what you need Yoshi for. Now, Yoshi is sitting right over there. I don't even have to know what fruit he wants because he always wants the same thing. He wants a durian, which is those little spiked balls. If you haven't told, I mentioned earlier, those are the only ones that you can kick, or the only ones you can't pick up, you have to kick them. That's what he wants. So in order to get that, you were going to have to go between these fruit machines. You're not going to find any fruit in the level, and just ground pound the switch, which is why I'm jumping back and forth between them, until you get the correct fruit. You can see we've gotten a pineapple, a pear, a coconut, and you may have to throw these out of the way because they will get in the way of each other, and eventually, if you have too many on screen, they'll actually stop spawning, so you might want to throw them into the water flat out to get rid of them. And they will just go away over time as well, but you may actually have to get them out of the way, because the last thing you want is to get the durian to show up and then fall down there, because you're not going to be able to get it back out easily, if at all. And no, throwing them off does not reset the, it doesn't reset the fruits. Thankfully, that would suck if it did. Because then they would just put it last. Yeah, there we go, there's one right there. So once you've collected durian, and I'm just going to go ahead and get this coconut out of the way. Go ahead and kick it over Yoshi. I would just run forward in a straight line and just make a point A, point B to Yoshi, and just make a straight line. It will give you the correct one you need. You do need Yoshi to be purple for this, so you don't have to worry about switching after that. And then you're just going to go over here, and whenever some of these guys show up, just spray them. They'll turn into platforms, and you'll hitch a ride. Or you could fall off and have Yoshi die. This is going to happen a lot, and it's not just on riding the platforms, because once you get there, you're going to get to that lowest platform right there. You can see the platform going across. You're going to have to bounce from there to there, there to there, there across to there, and then go up there. And you're going to have to use the fish to get up there. As you can tell, that platform spawned a bit high, so I had to use the spin jump. That's going to happen almost every time. It's either going to spawn really high, or so low that it's completely unusable. It's going to be one or the other. And unfortunately, you're just going to have to deal with it, because it happens every time. So should Yoshi die, he will respawn in the same point, want the same fruit, and you're going to have to ground pound these things over and over again until you get the durian again. Which means every time you screw up, it's that much more painful, because you know you're going to have to redo all of that work. Okay, there we go. That's an actual solid platform to land on. A lot of this is coordinating with the shadows, which thankfully the shadows are accurate in this game, or relatively accurate. So a lot of it is coordinated to make sure that whenever you land, you're not landing in the water, because if you miss, you're restarting. Pretty much the whole mission. I mean, granted, walking over there is not quite that bad, but you know what I mean. Alright, now the trick with the spin jump, as you've seen, this jump right here, in order to get this to work correctly, because you can just not use the fish and jump over, in order to aim in the correct direction, okay, I'm aiming, what I want to do is make it to where I go forward. So I want to start the spin at, assuming forward is north, I want to start with northeast, or just east on the spin, in order to get the correct area to go to. It might actually be west. Oh, that was weird. It sounded like somebody Steam messaged me, but they didn't. How is it? Maybe it's not, is it? No, you don't do that. No, I guess it's not. Okay. Alright, well, since we're obviously going to be cutting here a lot, I'll probably just meet you back here, because obviously I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. So each time that I get closer and closer, because I will likely fail this at least 3 more times. And no, that's not me being negative, like, that is honestly factual. You will probably be redoing this a lot. Alright, so now we are back to where we were. Maybe you actually do have to start the spin from the front. Let's find out. Well, if the spin worked, that would obviously help as well. Okay, yeah, that is what it is. Okay, so whatever direction you need to go, like let's say you need to do a spin jump and you need the flutter to send you northward because for whatever reason, like whenever you spin, it seems like you go in a random direction, like you get pushed. Whatever direction you start the spin from, whenever you make the full rotation on the stick, which yes, I know that sounds terrible, whatever direction that first part of it is, that's the direction primarily you will be sent in. Alright, so we've got 2 options. We can either head that way or go up here. It looks like going up here is going to be the easier choice. Once again, the flutter jump actually, you know, has to work. And yes, I know I'm running low on juice. I'm fully aware. Unfortunately, the camera will only go so far. Okay, now it's pulling a little bit in the wrong direction. There we go. No, I did actually have it right. You have to start a little bit to the right. Clockwise, a little bit clockwise to the right of whatever direction you need to go. Now, fortunately, I was smart enough to realize it's the first time. From this platform, you can get what you need. So you can at least spray that, and from that point on, you, as long as you can get up there, you don't need Yoshi anymore. And you can make it over to this platform, which is the one you need to make it to. I'm not gonna have a lot of shots at this guy. Come on. No. Yeah, I'd rather he go away. Are you serious? Why did it... Okay, why did Mario go flying off of him? That's really stupid. Alright, well, guess what this means? I'll meet you back, because while the stuff is gotten rid of off the grating, you still need Yoshi in order to get the fish to turn into platforms. So, again, I will see you there. Yeah, I figured I would go ahead and just start here just to show you something. I hit the fish too low, and I don't think I can make that jump, so I did not attempt for it, but yes, be aware that the platform can spawn too low as well. Should that happen, the fish will come back whenever the platform disappears, because if you actually watch, the platform was the fish and it fell back in the water, so it swims back over. You can see it down there swimming back, and then it'll start jumping up and down again. So, just thought I'd make a note of that. Now let's see if we can get this proper once he comes back. So we're going to have to get him at a pretty high point here. That might work. Okay, now I just have to get up there. And you could bail off a Yoshi and just use the hover nozzle at this point, but I figured I'd be better off not doing so. All you have to do to get off of Yoshi, by the way, is just the X button. No, I'm not stupid. I made sure to switch the hover nozzle before I did that. Because the last thing I need to do is fall off. That took 3, I'm going to say, attempts. It didn't cost me a life, but it took 3 going up through all that stuff. I cut twice, and there was no failed attempts in between of me failing to get back to where I was. So, it took 3 tries to get through, But if it takes you a lot more than that, do not be embarrassed. It took me a long time to get that one, and it is very, very, very frustrating. Really, the trick is figuring out those spin jumps. Like, if you're not confident in it, just practice with Yoshi while you're on the ground, the main part of the ground, rather than on those tiny platforms, to figure out what direction you need to start your control stick spin in order to get to work. So, now we are at 41 shines, and that does make sense, because if you take a look at the overall amount, at the totals here, we have that one from Delfino Airstrip at the start of the game. So, we have completed through 4 of the worlds entirely, except for the 100 coins, which is Bianco Hills, Ricco Harbor, Gelato Beach, and Pinna Park. So we have 41 shines in total, which means we are a little bit over a third of the way through the game. As you can see, there is room for more levels, which it looks like 4 more, maybe 3? No, that looks like 4. I know one of those is Corona Mountain, which is very small, but for now we are going to be taking a break from this LP in order to go back to Mario Superstar Baseball. I'm actually kind of grateful that we finished that on a relatively high note, because normally those would take a lot longer, and I thought they would. So I will see you guys next time for more Super Mario Sunshine whenever Mario Superstar Baseball has been completed through Flower Cup on the story. And for those of you that are watching that, I will of course see you next time for more of Let's Play Mario Superstar Baseball. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Later!